Today we're going to discuss prompt number 3, text to text. Step number 1, read all the directions and know the due date, which is July 5th. You'll want to complete all 3 of the articles. Make sure you annotate each of the articles. You identify the author's main point because you'll need that information in your essay. All right, once you have your outline, that is, you've identified your thesis statement, which is the answer to your prompt question, you have written 6 topic sentences, which will be one point you're making about your thesis statement, you'll be ready to utilize your outline in Microsoft Word to type your essay. So my desire right now is to go over the prompt to make sure you understand what the objectives are for this essay. Okay, so the essay prompt, what are the effects of employment opportunities? Okay, employment opportunities would be how many people are eligible or able to get certain jobs, okay? Either white collar or blue collar. Can anyone just get a white collar job? Can anyone get a blue collar job? And from reading these 3 articles, you will be able to answer that question. In regard to educational disparities, what is the difference between a blue collar job and a white collar job in terms of educational requirements? Can a person who works as a lawyer have the same opportunities as someone who perhaps is working as a mechanic? Or maybe I should frame it the opposite way. Can a mechanic have the same job opportunities as someone working as an attorney or as an engineer? What are the educational disparities that would allow someone to either have a white collar job or a blue collar job? I'm also expecting you, based on the information you read in the articles, to define the difference between a white collar and a blue collar job. Okay, so make sure you read the content that I have here, draw on specific points from the readings, and explain how a synthesis of these readings deepens the understanding of blue collar and white collar employment. How does this understanding allow people to identify potential contradictions in society in regard to work and who is able to succeed in a given profession? How can people begin to identify elements of a crisis in preparing children to enter the workforce? So in regard to causal, which is the article you read last week, how does a person's demographic affect the opportunities that that person will have later in life? It really should not have a bearing, but we have found out in the reading that it does. Lastly, how might the readings begin to point towards strategies for overcoming these negative attitudes towards blue-collar jobs as well as white-collar jobs? Hint, one strategy is not work hard and you will succeed. Although we understand with grit, anyone can achieve whatever goal he or she is willing to persevere and challenge themselves to actually get it done. Nevertheless, we're looking at it in terms of what must someone do in order to have a white collar job or a blue collar job. So those questions that I have in this paragraph, what I'd like for you to do is to think about the answers to these questions to create your topic sentences. All right, the essay components. So for your intro paragraph, I would like for you to read this paragraph. And so what I'm looking for you to do in the intro paragraph, I need you to introduce only 2 of the 3 articles in the intro paragraph. So that means I'm looking for you to have a hook. And the hook should just be about employment. Okay, just a sentence about employment. Then the next 3 sentences, you need to introduce one of the articles. That first sentence is going to be a sentence with the author's first and last name, the title of the article, and the author's main point for that article. The next 2 sentences will be what happened in the first half of the article, and what happened in the second half of the article. And you can frame that by simply saying, Rose begins by, tell me what happened in the first half of the article. Rose concludes by, tell me what happened at the end. And then you'll say next, or in addition, and then introduce the second article. Okay? And then you'll start again by introducing that author with the first and last name, the title, and the main point of that article. And then you're going to tell me what happened in the first half of that second article, and then the next sentence will be what happened at the end of that article. Okay? So right now, you have a total of 7 sentences. You have your hook, 3 for the first article, 3 for the second article, and that last sentence is going to be the answer to your prompt question. So I'm looking for you to create a sentence that answers what are the effects of employment opportunities and educational disparities in regard to white-collar or blue-collar jobs, for a total of 8 sentences in the intro paragraph. Okay? Now, if you look here, it says, I recommend that you only introduce 2 of the reading selections in the intro paragraph, because that's a total of 8 sentences. When you discuss the other article, I'm going to change this to 1. So when you see this, it's not going to say 2 anymore. It'll say 1. When you discuss that last article, what I need you to do in the body paragraph, when you introduce sentence number 3, which is your support, make sure you introduce the author by his first and last name, as well as the title of the work. And so I've given you an example. John Smith, who strongly argues that this is the author's main point, that practice makes perfect, in his article MLA Made Easy. Okay, so you see we have the author's name, we have the main point, and we have the title of the article, and now we introduce the content. We have an indirect quotation, which means it's paraphrased, and we also have the information where that comes from. Okay, so that's how you will introduce the third article of the 3. Initially in this paper, I asked students to read 4 articles, and I'm scaling back to 3. Yay! Okay, so this is the format I would like for you to use to introduce that third article in the body paragraph. That will not be in the intro paragraph. So that content that I have right here, this is only for the body paragraph in terms of introducing that third article that you do not introduce in the intro paragraph. Okay? Once you introduce that author, the next time you mention that author, you're just going to mention the last name. You don't mention the title any longer. You just go ahead and utilize the same format you've been using all along. All right. It says provide at least 6 body paragraphs, 9 sentences. So you may have to go back and look at the PowerPoint that I created for body paragraph format so that you know what it is that I'm asking you to do. And I give you a brief description: topic sentence, explain your topic sentence, quotation, commentary, citation. How does that quotation relate to your topic sentence? And then a 5-sentence focus. You know, for this class, I will allow you to have a 4-sentence analysis. So 8 to 9 sentences for a body paragraph is going to be acceptable for me. Okay, so that means you have an intro paragraph, 6 body paragraphs, and a 3-sentence conclusion. No works cited page is required for this essay. It needs to be MLA format. If at any point you have questions about the essay, what do you need to do? You need to send me an email, and I will set up an appointment for you in Zoom, and we can talk about it. So happy writing, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.